saying? Mind you, I just woke up. Next thing I know, Players Club to the back of the head. You know what I'm saying? The Players Club. Lucci P came out and cleaned him up, though. You know what I mean? It was but the door was open, the whole club story. Then we went on stage. You know what I mean? P was telling the tribes to back up he was preparing for the ambush. Luckily we got out of there. I came home, got with my man Johnny from the bartender to start working up. You know what I mean? Yeah, the Players Club was back in the day.
That's crazy that made you start working out though. You did it.
A bunch of other shit, but that was the icing on the cake.
We had Jim Jones on here the other day, and Jim Jones was saying he worked out to be prepared. And you remember that video he slammed in the airport? I know Jim Jones had to fuck with him. Like, I knew the minute I saw that, I don't even know what homeboy must have said some wild shit to him for him to do that to him. You know what I'm saying? So, but that's, you know, I know guys that had to go to jail 5 or 10 years and they already started working out before they went in there to be ready to go to jail, you know, prepping their bodies and get ready because they gotta go to gladiator school and go to war.
That's why it's so important to learn how to fight so you can defend yourself or your family. It will also teach you discipline. The only man in the world who can do handstand push-ups with his fist.
Never sue the other driver after a car accident. There's a better way to get paid a way bigger check without having to go to court.
Worldwide West is my neighbor. I caught him walking. You know, he works out every day, so I always catch him working out. Now, yo, Wes, he's one of them workout guys. He's not going to talk to you while he's working out. He stopped the other day. So I'm talking to him. I said,
We're live, the home of the Rockets in wonderful Houston, Texas. Thanks for joining us, everyone. It's the NBA on 2K Sports. I'm Kevin Harlan alongside Richard Jefferson and Greg Anthony. And with us from the sidelines tonight, David Aldridge. And we have an intentional foul there, GA. Which is
pretty strange. I mean, nobody got into his head right there.
And they go to the intentional foul. And on paper, Greg, this might seem like a potential blow, but anything can happen in this NBA.
Kevin, we see upsets happen all the time. It's what makes the sport great. You can't take any team or game for granted.
And San Antonio calls the first time out of the game. Richard, last season marked the 5th consecutive year that the Spurs missed the playoffs.
And this drought came directly after their historic streak of 22 consecutive playoff appearances. But the silver lining in this stretch is that it allowed them to draft a generational talent in Wembanyama.
Spurs with the ball. Here's Castle. Starting off with that shot.
Castle's good other than down low.
The rebound by Victor Wembanyama. Here's Fox. Offense with the rebound. And here we go. Brooks got the pass, but a chance. Analysis by Houston. Vassell outside. Here, Wembanyama.
Let me say this again, y'all.
Wembanyama hammering that one home. Here's the three. And the rejection by Wembanyama. And the basket by Castle.
Welcome to the New York Times podcast. More than just a completely cultural review. John Caramonico, the critic of the New York Times. I'm Joe Australia. I'm a reporter.
I'm Pusha T. I'm one half of those. And I'm Mavericks.
Here's Van Vliet. They kick it out to Green. And it's off from three-point range. We've seen the quick start here for the Spurs. Now some of them give them Wembanyama deserved defensive over the year consideration in his rookie year.
From a bottom 5 to a top 5, their new album that's coming out very soon, like God's sort of out. This is their reunion album after almost 15 years. So we're going to talk about what it's like to reunite with your brother on the record, the public brackets that sometimes finds itself in, and how that informs his art. We're going to talk about what it's like to buy your independence back from a record label to save your soul. Thanks for being here, guys. Now, here we are. We are more than 20 years into the Clips adventure, and I do at least want to call out one thing, which is 2004 cover of Basketball Magazine. First time I hear about this in the sort of intermediate period between We Got a mixtape series and now that right in the middle of that. And I wonder, one of the things when I went back and revisited the transcript from that conversation is that both of y'all had what I would say would be a healthy skepticism about the systems that you were putting records out into. And almost like a doubt, like, maybe this is going to work, maybe it's not going to work, maybe we'll sign a label deal, maybe we won't. These mixtapes, Alex, you even said you were resistant to doing mixtapes that I'm sure, like, why would I don't do mixtapes. I do albums. Yeah, like I do albums. Like I don't do mixtapes. I wonder if you think about the kind of unsteadiness of that moment almost 20 years ago. And now here, I wonder if you can identify moments that really felt like it tipped the scale back in your favor. Because I think you were like the most touted underdogs at that moment.
Specifically, a moment during that time was the Knitting Factory show.
Oh yeah, we were there talking about that. Yeah, we were talking about that.
Like, so the Knitting Factory show was, well, first of all, let me tell you where my mind was during that time, and just kind of how I was, you know, to everything that was happening. So at this time, you know, of course, Clips comes out, Lil Willin, 2002, just 4 years later, we're into Hell Happy Series and the mixtape series. How I do mixtapes at that time, it was a pleasure when you say in front of all the states. You could get any mixtape you wanted, you could get whoever was hot. Shout out Clips. Yeah, shout out Clips.
It's been waiting 20 years for this show. How was your mixtape guy?
Yeah, Clips was a mixtape guy, man. We got a TV series comes out.
Yeah, it's an impressive.
This thing called Internet. And man, I couldn't find the mixtape in the street in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
And man, I was enraged. Because you were not a that's all I thought. That was like, yo, being out here in the streets, and you know, the guys that you know,
First quarter of basketball, just over 2.5 minutes played.
They're not down to anything.
On the way.
Yeah, like, so during this time, I was
so far
infuriated, man. I was infuriated about even after catching the plane through the mixtape circuit. What We Got a TV series.
And Houston calls their first time out of the game.
Was like
Where do you think the Rockets are the strongest in their play?
You know, Clipster, y'all been, oh my God. The Knitting Factory show just, you know, in hindsight, but when they were we thought we were talking to
It sounds like you guys saw it as a moment of opportunity.
Absolutely. You know, thinking back, we were actually the first rap group to perform at South by Southwest. So, you know, just to see, to discover a fan base that we did not even know that we had, and we had to play to it. That's who was coming out, you know, and it was electrifying. It was a great energy, you know what I'm saying, to see it, and we never lost the streets. You know, the streets were always still right there, but the people that were coming out and going crazy, I mean, stark crazy mad was the Clipsters.
And so then you guys have this period of acclaim and shine, and Hell Hath No Fury finally comes out. Huge.
Want a day trade, but you let me teach you how to day trade with $0. We'll practice that.
Gets trailed by 8.
First grade finally comes out. Huge critical smash.
Outside, Green. Poke loose. Just works with the ball.
Right.
The full run.
5-ish years.
That's a 2 from Barnes.
Only 3. So that's, even that's crazy to remember, right? So Until the Casket Drops comes out in 2009, and obviously there's a lot that happens in between, but we haven't heard it comes out again until now. Talk to me about first splitting up. When was the conversation, Malice, with your brother to say, hey, I need to take a break from rap?
So, you know,
where KD at? Where KD at?
California, and
The Pilgrim.
So, you know, we were talking, and I just recall listening. I'm listening to my brother and talk about, you know, things that we should do, you know, things, you know, just how everything's going for us. And I'm thinking, you know, they can talk all they want.
Let's head over to the sideline and catch up with David.
But you knew.
I knew. Like I knew, like,
I asked him if I was going to take me here in Fox. Coach said,
it was that very night after we left. I had a great
I said, we're dealing with maybe the best player in the
back to the
league.
hotel and went in the elevator. I told my brother, I said, you know, I'm not going to be able to continue doing this. And around that time, we were entertaining thoughts of episode at the time. And, you know, I just told my brother, I said, you know, I think it's about time, since you're already entertaining it, go ahead and solo. And, because I had like things on my mind, and I knew it was like time to, you know, take a step back.
How surprised were you? Because one thing, having